Hi there, this is Sheena Rowlands and today I'm sharing with you my latest layout for Simple Stories Saturdays. And for this layout I'm going to use the Simple Vintage Garden District. Now I've got quite a bit of this left, you might have seen me use this before, and I'm on a mission that I want to get it used up, and I've decided I'm going to use one of the banners from the banner cardstock sticker 12 by 12 sheet. Don't seem to have these so much in their ranges, but this is the one that they had for Garden District, and I've decided to use the one that's got two places for photographs. So I'm going to use that mainly with this pink and white checkered paper at the top, and I'm just deciding what photograph to use. I've gone through a few. I want it to be a reasonably small photograph, but actually in the end I've got a few there and I'm going to make some final choices. I think I go with the black and white. I think that fits so nicely with the pastel colours. So the aim is to use the sticker banner at the lower end of the checkered paper, but I actually want to zhuzh it up. So I'm going to go through all the ephemera I've got there in the tray. There's lots of bits and pieces that I've got left. I've made multiple layouts from this collection now, so there's just a random selection of bits that are left, and I'm going to go through and see what I can add to the top of this banner to make it more 3D and less flat. So I've found a couple of tickets. I found like a banner sticker that says the sweetest. I think that would be really cute. I've got some flowers there. I've got some butterflies as well. And I'm just going to have a look as well at some of the smaller papers that I've got, because I'm going to add some layers below the banner as well as above. So that's what I'm doing. I know I'm flicking through some of them quite quickly there. I'm just having a look at both sides. I want to have smaller patterns underneath because the check is quite a bold pattern. So I'm just having a look. I'm cutting some bits off some of the sticker sheets there. They're not all from Garden District. I think there's a couple of other ranges. I've put them all together and I've stored them all together because they're very similar colourways. All Simple Stories, obviously. And I'm just going to go through and see what I prefer. So if you've not joined us for Simple Stories Saturdays before, let me just explain. So Simple Stories Saturdays is a group of YouTube scrapbookers who once a month on the last Saturday of the month all scrap with Simple Stories ranges. Now, I'll link everybody below, but what you'll find is that we're all using different ranges, all very different styles. So I would really recommend you hop around the rest of the team and see what's on offer. The idea is to provide inspiration to get your Simple Stories collections in your albums. So do have a look. You'll also find I've got a year plus of videos that you can go back. You can always check by the thumbnail which ones are the Simple Stories Saturday, so they're very easy to spot in on our YouTube channels. So if you get the chance, I would really recommend it. So I'm moving on a little bit. I am trimming some of the 6x8 papers to create little banners just to go underneath the sticker banner. So you saw me take the sticker banner off the background. I added some craft foam, children's craft foam in big chunks to the back of it, and then I just did the rest with talcum powder just to stop it sticking. It's just a habit that I've got. So I'm just looking now which papers I like to go underneath for the banners. I want to add as much dimension as I can to something which was essentially a flat sticker. You'll also notice obviously the photograph is much bigger than the two Polaroids that were hanging on the banner. So what I did there is I cut the bar between the two Polaroids so that I could tuck my photograph underneath, so it actually looks like it's hanging from one of the pegs. So never be concerned about altering something to fit your own scrapbooking. I mean, you can't see those Polaroids now my photograph is in place. So it didn't matter which of the banners I picked or which size photo I picked, because I've actually covered them up anyway. So that's not a concern at this stage. So I'm still having a look, see if there's any other bits and pieces. There's a floral paper there, and I'm definitely going to try and use some of that. And I'm also looking at adding a title to the bottom right-hand corner, so that I've got that thought in my mind as well, what I want to put there. The title is actually I stick a title to the photo which says "So Much Love," but I actually add the word "baby" to the bottom right-hand corner, which is a 3D embellishment from the SheenaRibenaScraps company. I'll add the link in the comments, and it's a little 3D embellishment company that I run myself. So if you're interested, hop on there and have a look as well. So I'm still looking at all the bits in the tray. I can't help myself. I always feel like I might have missed something, so I always like to have another good rummage through to see what I can find. I want to add some butterflies, so I definitely want to add 3, a couple on the banner and maybe 1 down by the bottom right hand corner. So that's the sort of things I'm thinking as I'm going through everything. Sooner or later I'm going to have to clear up the mess around me because it helps me focus. So there I am. I've cleared up a little. I've also cut down the gingham paper and I've actually stitched it down on the sewing machine, and I've roughed up the edge as well, just with a pair of scissors. So I'm coming in with my open scissors and I'm going to just rough up the banners that I'm going to add underneath the photo, just that they all are very similar. I'm going to attach the banners underneath the large banner, just with a little bit of double-sided tape in the centre of them. Just that way I can move them around a little when I've got them all in position, because the actual banner sticker is not stuck down yet. But I think I decided I'm going to actually stick it down. So I add foam to either end. Obviously it's going to balance on the craft foam, so I'm just going to stick either end down. And the reason behind this means that I can insert the banner pieces below it without any trouble at all. So gives me an option to put those underneath, but I know that now that the large banner is attached and it's quite stable. So I don't want to fully fill it with the banners underneath. I want a little bit of white poking out in between. So I do a couple on the right and add a ticket, and then I'm going to add a couple by the photograph, and then a couple on the left under that cluster with the darker green doily, and add another ticket there as well. I'm trying to cover the fact that where the paper ends without obviously trying to do that. So I've just got some bits at a slight angle there. And then I'm going to also, I found some brads that belong to this range. So I'm going to look at potentially adding them in as well. And I'll look at adding one to that sticker tag that I've got there in the centre. I'll make a big deal about trying to get that in position because I didn't want to make a hole through the whole layout. But either side I'm going to add a brad, and I'm just going to use a pokey tool to make a hole through everything so I can insert that as well. So I've pretty much finished with the banner. I think I had a bumblebee, but then I start to think about the bit at the bottom. If you've enjoyed this video, just give me a thumbs up if you fancy, and subscribe to my channel. There's a wide selection of videos that go up each month, so if you'd like to know about them, it would be great if you could subscribe. So thank you very much in advance. So I'm starting to move things around in that bottom right. There's just a strip of paper that I use, which I will actually take off camera and sew with the sewing machine, and there's a little die cut as well that I put on top, and then I think maybe I could add a brad to that. So I look for another brad, and I will use the pokey tool again to get that in position. So just the finishing touches now. I do enjoy using up some of these older ranges from Simple Stories. I love the way that how soft these colours are and how you can mix a few ranges together and they all work perfectly. So I'm just going to stick this shenanigans down as part of the title. I've just used some red tape on the back. I've forgotten how hard it is to peel that when you've got nail varnish on, but anyway, that's the finished layout. Thank you so much for watching. There's going to be some close-ups here too. You'll also find this layout on IG today as well. So thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I hope to see you here again real soon. Bye for now.